been able to cope during this uncertain time of the coronavirus?
Thank you, Abby, for having me over. It is always a pleasure to have this conversation and to just get a chance to share with the environment, with the business environment, about what we've been through and, what are the learnings really from our experience. It's been a very disruptive environment by and large with this COVID pandemic. Nobody could have planned for it. But what it has really taught the bank and ABSA in specific is that the key things that you need to look at, regardless of what it is. I mean, the disruption could be COVID this time. The disruptive in the past has been post-election violence, and we've had disruptive environments, across board. But what are the key things you get to learn from an environment that is disruptive as such? And by and large, I think the key thing that we learned is that in an environment like this, the people are such an important piece for us in an organization like this. People, because we serve people. We work with people. We have to work through people. So by and large, people are a key resource for us, and therefore we must give it a lot of attention. So at ABSA, to begin with, when we saw this COVID environment, as it evolved, we found that if processing it around the three things that I've mentioned, the people that we work with, people that we serve, and the environment that we work in became a key thing. And we tried to ensure that we served those three key factors to ensure that we were relevant, we were supportive, we were partnering, we were empathetic, and we continue to do that until today.
In terms of supporting businesses, of course, economic recovery will take some time, where we see the Central Bank of Kenya saying that the economy is expected to grow by about 3.1%. And as a bank that is endearing itself to small businesses, how are you looking to strategize when it comes to helping these small businesses bounce back to recovery?
ABSA has taken on the journey of working with the SMEs and working in the business banking environment. So SMEs are a clear focus for us to be able to support. So when we started off with at the beginning of the year, we had a fantastic campaign around our Is campaign, which was really enabling the SMEs to be able to access financing, to have access to market, to have partnering, to have mentorship from the bank. And as we worked into the COVID environment, we realized that, whereas we could be aggressive with some of the key focus pillars that we had chosen, we weren't able to really aggressively go ahead with the financing options. But then it became important for us to look and see, what does that mean for the SME that we were supporting? We were supposed to continue, were we supposed to continue financing? What were we supposed to really do? Because, in an environment like that, financing really isn't the first option you need to look at. So we took a step back and said, the people whom we had financed, the businesses that we had financed, it was important for us to be able to support them to continue with their business. So we were one of the first banks to look at providing loan repayment holidays. This really meant that between 3 months to a year, we were able to provide them with opportunities to hold repayment of their loan facilities, or if they were able to pay portions, restructure for them to be able to continue operating within their cash flows. And this really helped a lot of SMEs because they felt first and foremost that they needed to be able to keep their expenses going. Instead of having repayments come to the bank, they were able to now pay their employees, even albeit perhaps in a lower amount, but really keep their employees committed to them and be able to support them in this difficult period. So loan repayments for both our customers in the retail space, in the business banking space, which includes the SME space, and also in the corporate space, became the first call for us to be able to provide our customers. We called our customers, we wrote to our customers, we spoke about it by and large so that they knew that they had this option. Apart from that, we also realized it was an opportunity for us to really step into their shoes and provide them with as much information as possible that we could around supporting their businesses during this difficult period. So especially for the SMEs, we then took it upon ourselves to provide them with webinars. And the webinars were, of course, COVID compliant because you could be able to access our webinars from wherever you were. And we joined in groups where we were able to address key topical issues. So amongst the key topical issues that we had was, for instance, leadership during this crisis environment. We spoke about taking your business online and provided, leaders who could speak, with authority around taking business online and what it meant for us as a bank as well. We were able to speak around, the mental well-being of people who, as you go through this COVID environment, because it's one thing to say, my business is fine, but what about you as an individual? We spoke about business continuity planning, which is a program that many SMEs did not ever take into consideration. So we spoke about, what does it mean in a disruptive environment as such? Most of them had to close shop. Most of them had to, reduce a lot of things that they were doing. So speaking about this in groups where they could then move into a mentorship coaching session really helped a lot of our SMEs, at least know that they were not alone, that there were options, and there were things that they could do in this environment. So it was not all doom and gloom. And that has really helped us also understand the SME environment, because they also gave us feedback. They told us, look, these are some of the issues we're struggling. Perhaps could you speak about them in the next session? And we continue to do that because we feel that being close to this community really helps us understand better, and we are able to better solution for them.
Speaking about these very great initiatives that you started as a bank, talk to us about the role of public partnerships, and of course, how do you intend to grow the level of partnerships with the customer base that you currently enjoy?
Well, let's put it this way, Abby, is that we can't go this journey alone. And therefore, public partnerships, private partnerships are so key in being able to scale up and be able to support the customers that we have. So even in the environment, because like I mentioned to you initially, there are many kinds of partnerships you can join as a bank. As a bank, for instance, when we speak about our staff, because those are a key resource. When we talk about partnerships, we had to partner with organizations like Minet, Kenya, to be able to provide, support in terms of well-being, in terms of mental health, and that sort of partnership really made a difference. When you talk about the community that we operate in, we were able to look for partners to be able to support our partners in the environment that we work with. We were able to then provide them with personal protective clothing because it was important for the environment that we work with. We were able to provide them with, machineries and things like that would be able to support them. So that partnership has also helped endear us to the environment that we work with, so that we're better able to work, and it's an environment where we find ourselves, we cannot separate ourselves from it. So, being part of it, being able to provide foodstuffs and protective clothing, like I've mentioned, masks, all sorts of things to be able to partner with the environment that we work with. But on a business level, we have also been able to partner with different groups on various fronts. So for instance, in the bank, we've been able to partner with a group like Standard Group, for instance, together with Value Connects, to be able to provide a leadership development conference under the Live to Lead. And in this particular conference, we have partnered to bring in a leadership guru, John C. Maxwell, to have a very engaged conversation around leadership. It is topical because leadership is important at all times, but more so in an environment that like we find ourselves today under the COVID environment. How do you lead your company? How do you lead your people? How do you lead your homes, for instance? These are things that we are looking to discuss. So in partnership with the two companies I've spoken to, the Standard Group and also Value Connect, we've been able to bring forth a leader, a guru, a leadership guru, to be able to speak to our staff, to be able to speak to the leaders whom are invited. We have been able to connect some of our clients to this environment so that we can be able to gain knowledge, to gain support, to gain understanding of the environment that we find ourselves. So Abby, key for us is really looking for partnerships that make sense, that connect to the values that we have at ABSA, and therefore